Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome to our class today. Jazakumullah for joining today's class. Can I have a student to the mic for the daily prayers for today, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Can I request G2 661 to unmute their mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, G2661. We'll start the class with Ta'uz, and I'll recite, and if you could recite after me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Isn't that you? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Again, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Wonderful. So do you want to go ahead with the translation?
I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected.
And just a quick reminder, do you want to read that for me just here? Why we recite Ta'uz?
Why we recite Ta'uz before reciting Quran. Allah tells us in chapter 16, verse 99, and when thou recitest Quran, seek refuge with Allah from Shaitan the rejected.
Well done. Okay, and the English for Bismillah?
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
And again,
reciting Bismillah before every deed invokes the blessing of Allah upon that deed. It is sunnah to recite it before every good deed.
Well done. That was really good reading. Okay, and Rabbi zidni ilma.
Rabbi zidni ilma.
Okay.
Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Taha, verse 150.
Well done. Okay, if you want to read the English here as well.
Okay. If you wish. The Holy Quran has 114 chapters. That is the main name of chapter 20. It has 136 verses. The above dua can be found in verse 115 of Surah Taha.
Jazakallah. That was really good reading. Jazakallah G2661. Okay, on to the class etiquettes, which by now I'm sure most of you are familiar with. So I hope you've all done ablution, which is wudu. It's very important to be clean when we're reciting the Holy Quran, which is the word of Allah. You should be in clean clothes. Your head should be covered. So girls should be wearing a dupatta and boys should be wearing a topi. You should be sitting in a quiet place because that aids learning. Don't forget, we're learning together collectively. So if there's noise in your background, the rest of the students can't learn effectively as well. So it's really important to be in a quiet place. So while you're reciting, nobody gets distracted. Parents should be present, just in case you have some questions that we can't answer, or sometimes you just have a query and your parent is most likely able to answer. It's really important to sit with an adult and to use your correct ID. I've noticed some of you don't have correct IDs, and if you still need help, if you look over here, so you'll find there's our email address just there. You can email us for your correct ID, and we will give it to you. Once you have it, only then will you be called to the mic. So you won't be allowed to come to the mic until you have the correct ID. So if you don't have your ID, please do contact us and we can then help you. Okay, just one moment. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, on to the next part, 1 second. Okay, so this is today's schedule. So today's class is class number 7. The date today is the 17th of January, 2023. We've just done the assembly, which is the opening dua and the announcements. So we'll now be doing, for 10 minutes, we'll be doing the rule in focus. And today's rule is wasl, which means combining the sukoon. Wasl means to join, but we'll be doing combining the sukun. And it's exercise number 18.1 on the Talimul-Quran inside this Talimul-Quran book. So you can follow it there as well. After that, we'll be practicing today's text. And today's text is Surah Ash-Shura, continuing Surah Ash-Shura, verses 32 to 38. And hopefully at 6:45, we'll be doing the mispronounced letters. Today's letter is Thal, and we should be doing that for about 10 minutes with practice, and then we'll consolidate, we'll do the homeworks, any announcements, and dua. Okay, so on to the main parts of our lesson today. So as I said, we will be doing today's lesson. The rule in focus is combining. And as in English, we join letters to make words. And there's certain ways of doing it. So when we see a vowel, so all letters are voweled or mutaharrik if they carry a stroke. So when you see a letter with a stroke, it's called a voweled letter or a mutaharrik letter. So we say mutaharrik in Arabic and we say voweled in English. Over here, you can see the sakin ba. This is the joining, the combining letter in this case. So we'll be focusing on the sakin ba today, which is this one here, and another letter in a moment. I'll show you. One moment. Okay, so let's apply joining a sakin letter. So you can see over here, you see a ya, which is a mutaharrik ya, which is a maftu ya, which is carrying a fatha. Next to it, you can see a sakin ba. So what does sakin ba means? It carries a sukoon. So a sakin letter joins to the most recent mutaharrik letter, and the recent mutaharrik letter would be preceding it. So it has to come before it. So whenever you see a dash like this over here, this stroke above the ba, you need to figure out which letter it joins onto. And it joins onto the most recent mutaharrik letter. In this case, it's the ya. So we have to join the ba sakin onto the ya. When you see a sukoon, it means to pause or to connect. And so essentially you'll be joining them together. Okay, so this one's quite straightforward. You can see it's yab, yab, because the ya is a maftu and the ba is a sakin, yab. Okay, so let's apply joining a sakin letter over here. This one's slightly more trickier because there's lots of letters here, but you have to work out which one you have to use to connect and which one you have to join it to. So first, let's identify the sakin letter and the mutaharrik letter. In this case, you'll see that the mutaharrik letter is the ru. Why is it mutaharrik? It is a voweled letter. It has a stroke above it. In this case, it carries a dhamma. Okay, and the sakin lam is this one here because it carries a sukoon, which is also known as a jazm. And what we have to do is you have to join the sakin letter to the most recent mutaharrik letter. So the most recent mutaharrik letter preceding it, before it. So work backwards and ask one question. Is this a mutaharrik letter? So we're focusing on the lam sakin, and we have to find the first mutaharrik letter preceding it, before it. In this case, we're looking at this alif here before the lam sakin. Is this a mutaharrik letter? Does it have a stroke above it? It doesn't. Then go backwards one more letter and ask again, is this a mutaharrik letter? And because it carries no stroke, it is not a mutaharrik letter. Now onto the waw that you see over here. Does it carry a stroke? If it doesn't, it's not a mutaharrik letter. Onto the gha, and the gha, does it carry a stroke? Yes, it does. This is the mutaharrik letter that will then join onto this lam sakin. So this is how we do it. So we ignore the letters in between. We don't focus on the waw, the alif, and the alif. We drop them all together and we join the gha to the lam. In this case, it's a ru, and we say ghul. Ghul. So we don't read the waw, the alif, and the alif. We only join the lam sakin onto the gha. Okay, so A sakin letter, the rules of combining are, a sakin letter is a letter that carries a sukoon, which is also known as a jazm. A mutaharrik letter is a letter carrying a stroke. And a sakin letter joins onto the most recent mutaharrik letter. Step number 5, when you see a sakin letter, what do you have to do? You will be finding, you work your way back till you find a voweled letter. And what was a voweled letter? A mutaharrik letter, a letter that carries a stroke that you can join onto the sakin letter. So as we go forward, you join them together. So you ignore any letters in between that don't carry any strokes. Okay, I hope that's clear to all of you. So if you see a sakin letter, join it to the most recent mutaharrik letter, ignoring the letters in between. Let me read this for you. Yablughul huluma. Again, Yablughul huluma. So you'll see I did not read the waw, the alif, or the alif. Again, Yablughul huluma. That's how we combine letters. And that's the rule of the sakin letters. Okay, one moment. We're just going to quickly go on to the main part of the lesson, for which I'm going to need a student. Okay, so support teacher, if you could provide a student, please, for the recitation of the Quran. Just before we go on to that, just a quick reminder, in the chat box, you will see the link for the attendance for today, and it's really useful to you as well to ensure that you just click on that link. It's really quick. And you put in your details, that way we know that you definitely attended the class. So if you could go ahead and do that, that would be good. Okay, can I have the student?
Can I request G2650 to unmute their mic?
G2650, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so I'm going to start with Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah, and then you can follow me. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, well done. So we can continue the class from here. So I'll recite, and if you could follow after me, yeah? قال فأتي
Qala fa'ti
به
bihi
إن كنت
in kunta
من الصادقين.
minas sadiqin.
Well done. فألقى عصاه
Fa'alqa aso
فإذا
fa'iza
هي ثعبان
hiya so'ba
هي ثعبان
hiya so'ba
مبين.
nomubin.
Well done. Okay, so that was really good reading, and alhamdulillah, you read very, very well, so do keep it up. So you see this letter here. I'm just going to quickly ask you if you understood what we just learned. So you see this letter here, this alif here.
Yes.
Okay, what does it contain? What stroke does it have on top of it?
It has a stroke that you have to, with the letter the letter next to it, you have to mix that letter with the R.
Okay, well done. So how are you going to read this word here? Just that little. Yeah, well done. Okay, so what are we doing? Do you know what this letter here, do you know what stroke it carries? This one here?
Yes.
This fa, what's the stroke above it called?
Butter.
Well done. Okay, and then the stroke above the alif, what's that called? It's called a sukun. Yeah? Well done. So this sukun here makes this letter a combining letter, and we combine it onto the mutaharrik letter previous to it, okay? Which is a voweled letter. Yeah? This is a maftu letter. Fa. Yeah? Well done. Okay, so can you tell me, do you know the rule here? What do you do when you see a noon sakin, this sukun here, and it's, how would you read this?
Kun.
Well done. Okay, so normally we would read it as kun. We do join it still to the mutaharrik letter previous to it, which is correct. But we have to see what comes after it. In this case, it's a ta. So we just say kun, slightly with a nasal sound. Kunta.
Kunta.
Well done. Okay. And over here, if we just come here, this letter here, how do you pronounce this letter here? So we did this in last week's class. If you remember, we did this letter. And it's a letter of the tongue. Do you remember how to pronounce this letter?
Sa.
Done. If you say that again.
Sa.
Well done. That's really, really good pronouncing. So you didn't say sa, which is a S sound. You said tha, which is when your tongue touches the top of your teeth gently, okay? Slight air comes out. Well done for that. That was really good reading. Well done, G2650. Jazakallah. Can I have another student for the recitation, please?
Can I request G2621 to unmute their mic?
G2621, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, so we're going to read on. So if you'd like to follow me. وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ
وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ.
Okay, so let's take it slowly because it's quite tricky over here. So this letter here is quite a strong ah sound. It comes from your throat, yeah? So we say ah rather than ah. You make your throat quite tight. Ah, yeah? Let's try that again. وَنَزَعَ.
وَنَزَعَ
Well done. Yadahu.
يَدَهُ.
Okay, فَإِذَا
فَإِذَا
هي بيضاء.
هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ.
Well done. للناظرين.
للناظرين.
Well done. Okay. قال للملأ.
قال للملأ.
Then I recited that wrong. Just 1 second. قال للملأ.
قال للملأ. حوله.
إن هذا لساحر عليم.
لساحر عليم.
Okay, well done. That was really good reading. Okay, so when you see a letter that you have to join, what do you have to do? So in this case, if you see this letter here, this one, let me highlight it for you. This letter here is what is that letter?
Lil.
Well done. Okay, so that is a lam. So above the lam, you can see a stroke. What's the stroke called?
Jazm.
Well done. It's called a jazm or a sukoon. Okay, and what happens when you see a combining letter like this? What do you have to do?
You connect it with the letter before.
And what's important about the letter before it? What do you have to pay attention to?
The kasra.
Oh, well done. Okay, so that means you have to see if it's a mutaharrik letter, which means if it's a voweled letter, either it carries a stroke or not. And if it carries a stroke, you join it onto the sakin letter, okay? So that was what we learned today. Okay, so when you see a letter like this, how do you pronounce this letter here?
Za.
Okay, so this letter is also a letter of the tongue. When you pronounce this letter, you touch your tongue on your top teeth, just gently touching, and you say dhal. Rather than saying za, we say dhal, and there's slight vibration. So do you want to do it, recite it?
Za.
Well done, that's much better. So it's not a clear Z sound, it's a the, like the, T-H-E. It's pronounced the, yeah? Okay, well done. Jazakallah for that. Okay. Jazakallah. Can I have another student to the mic, please?
And I request G2 623 to unmute their mic.
G2 623. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Okay, so let's read. Okay. Yuridu an yukhrijakum. Okay, let's take it slowly. Because this noon here has to be slightly sounded rather than saying un. When you see a ya over here and it looks like this, you have to say you. Give it 2 seconds as opposed to 1. Should we try that together? You. Okay, this here is a shadda, and it's also a joining letter, so we join it in certain ways. We'll teach you as we go along. So rijakum min ardikum the sound is really tricky, this thought here, but you can, I'm sure you can learn it. So it's say and then dhad is quite a tricky letter, so you say it with the back of your mouth, and your tongue kind of rolls and touches the top parts of your teeth at the back, but the sound is like a dal, between a dal and a dha. A dal, so it's dha. So in this case we'll say dhi. Can you say that? Ardikum. Okay. So when we see a ba, you hold on to this meme. Ardikum. Bisihrihi. Fama. Zata. Murun. Okay. Qalu. Arjih. Wa akhahu. Wab'ath. Okay. Wab'ath. So it's quite a strong sound. Try to make this sound here. Wab'ath. Okay. Fil madaini. Hashirin. Okay, well done. That was really, really good reading. Some of these letters and recitation are quite tricky, but you're doing very well. So when you see our lesson, I'm just going to quickly reiterate what we just learned. So again, can you see this lam sakin here?
Yeah.
Okay, and which letter do we join this one onto? So you're going to look, when you've just learnt the lesson from combining, what are we looking for before it to join it to? Did you understand the lesson? So what we're going to do, when you see a sakin letter, in this case it's a lam sakin, which carries a sukoon, we're going to look at the letter before it that is a mutaharik letter. And mutaharik means it's got a stroke on it, it's a voweled letter. In this case, this lam sakin, we're going to see the next letter, the letter next to it. So on this alif, do you see a stroke? Has it got a stroke with it?
Yeah.
This alif here. This one, not the lam. That's the lam sakin there. This alif here, can you see a stroke on it? There's no stroke on this alif, so we have to ignore it. We have to go to the next letter and see if this letter is the one that we join it on to. In this case, we do, because this one here is a fa, which is has a kasra. It's a fi, so we join the fil onto it. Okay, that's how we recite that. Okay, fil. Yeah. Okay. So Jazakallah. Jazakallah G2623. Jazakallah. Okay. Can I have another student, please, to the mic?
Can G2649 come to the mic, please?
G2649.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Okay, so we're going to start it again from, we didn't actually read the rest of it, so we'll quickly finish this over here. If you can see my screen, let me just scoot down for you. Okay, so we're going to read from here, so and then we'll go back. Okay. Ya'tuka bikulli sahha. So this is a seen, a s sound. So this one here is a tha, this one is a seen, a clear s sound. Sahha. Well done. Rin alim. Try this ayn or rin alim. Well done. Okay, that sound comes from the back of your throat and in the middle of your throat, and you tighten your throat as you're saying it. With more practice, you get better and better at this. So just bear in mind, practice does make perfect, and the more you practice what we're teaching you, the better it is for you. And hope you can remember from these lessons the sounds that we're teaching you as well. It's really important in your daily recitation to remember those sounds. Okay, let's continue with the recitation. So qala fa'ti bihi in kunta sadiqin. Okay, so let me just quickly tell you, whenever you see a nun sakin and a kaf follows after it, it's called an ikhfa, it's a slight nasal sound. In kunta, the same applies to a ta after a nun sakin as well, okay? Let's read that again. In kunta. So how we make this sound is you bring your tongue slightly away while you're saying nun. Don't let it touch anything, just slightly away from the roof of your mouth. In kunta. I think you'll get it as we read it. Let's just continue. Minas sadiqin. This qaf is a really pronounced letter. Qeen. Okay. Fa'alqa. Asa. Again, try the ayn. Asa. Hufaiza. Hiya tu'ba. This letter is a tha. So remember last week we went through this. This is one of the most mispronounced letters. And this tha is a bit tricky because we don't normally say it in English. But if you, if you think about tooth, as I gave an example last time. So your teeth help in expressing this letter. Your tongue, the tip of your tongue touches your top teeth, but the very bottom of them, and you say tha. You don't say sa, you say tha. Do you want to try that?
Should I start from here?
So, no, if you just say the letter, because that's a bit tricky, I just want to make sure that you understand how to say it. Tha. Well done. Okay, so this here is a seen. Can you notice the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a tha. Yeah. In this
Yeah.
case, what is the stroke above it? It's a dhamma, right?
Yeah.
That makes it a madmum letter. Okay. So we say, in this case, we say a thu, yeah?
G.
If you could repeat that, thu.
Tu.
So again, don't say tu, it's th. Well, a slight amount of air needs to escape from your tongue while you're saying it. Thu.
Tu.
Well done. Okay, let's read it from here again. Hiya thu'ba.
Iya thu'ba.
Very well done. That was really good pronunciation. Nummubin.
Nummubin.
Wa naza'a yadahu.
Vanaza'a yadahu.
Well done. That was really good pronouncing. Slightly though. Remember the rules for the mutaharrik letters, the vowel letters. The rules are that you recite it for 1 second and no jerk sound with it. In this case, I think it's because you're trying to express it, which you did very well. You had a slight jerk sound. It's just saying ah. We say ah, just gently. Do you want to try that again? Ah.
Ah.
Okay, so let's read it slowly. Wa naza'a.
Vanaza'a.
Well done. So again, if you try and constrict your throat a bit as you're saying it, ah.
Ah.
Okay, so it comes from the middle of your throat. I think you learn that as you go along. Okay. Yadahu.
Yadahu.
Fa'idha.
Fa'iza.
Okay. This letter, like the previous one, is also a letter of the tongue. We're going to be learning this in a moment. Dhal sound is different to za. Okay, so in this case, it's exactly the same as a tha, but the sound is tha. Do you want to try that? So how you did it, where you placed your tongue for the tha, in this case, it's a tha. Do you want to try that?
How do I say it again?
So the tip of your tongue has to touch, your top teeth. It has to touch the tip of your top teeth, and you say the, like the.
The.
Yeah, well done. Okay, that's the sound for that letter. Okay, we're going to be practicing that in a minute anyway. Okay, so let's read that again. فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ.
Zirin.
It's thick sounding the z. Yeah, so you just make your mouth round while you're saying this letter z. So it comes out as a z. Do you want to try that? Z.
Oh. Z.
So make your mouth, the trick to this is from amongst the sort of slightly thicker sounding letters. And what you do is you make your lips rounder to say it. So linnazi.
Linnazi. Reen.
Okay, that's fine. Reen, noon. Yeah, at the end, that's a noon.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Jazakallah G2649.
Jazakallah.
Can I have another student to recite, please?
Can I request G2694 to come to the mic?
G2694. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, alhamdulillah. Okay, so we're going to continue reading. Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Okay, so let's continue to read. قال
للملأ
حوله ح sound حوله إن هذا. Again, this sound here, can you try that for me? Dhal sound, like when you're saying the.
ذا
Well done. That was really good. Okay, so let's read that again. هذا
هذا
لساحر
لساحر
عليم.
عليم.
Well done. Okay, you've recited that very well. I just want to point out one thing. This ha sound here, if you can see, is quite as strong. It comes from the throat, and you say it with quite sort of quite make it strong. It's ha rather than a soft ha, which is this one. Now this one comes from your throat, and this one comes from your chest area, your lungs area. So how lahu. Can you hear the difference between the two has?
Yeah.
How lahu. This one's very strong and this one's really soft. So let's try that again. Hawlahu.
حوله.
Again, if you try and constrict your throat a bit at the back, it will sound better. So ha. Hawlahu.
حوله.
Getting there. Okay, that's fine. So you notice the difference. It's quite a strong difference. So try to pronounce it in that way. Okay, and this dhal again, let me just quickly test you. How are you going to say this again?
ذال. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's fine. You can say dhal if you want. Brilliant, because you were pronouncing the letter, not what you're reading. In this case, it would be hadha.
هذا.
Well done. Excellent. Okay, so on to this one here. La sahirun.
لساحر.
You can notice this sa and this thu are different letters, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could pronounce this one, how do you pronounce this one?
Sa. Oh,
Try again.
Sa.
So this letter is a really clear S sound. S, like as if something's whistling out of your mouth. S, yeah? Sa.
Sa.
Okay, and this one here is a thu.
Thu.
Yeah, so you can notice the difference between those two, yeah? Okay, so let's read on. Hirun.
Hirun.
Well done, that was better. Okay, alim.
Alim.
Try this ain. Alim.
Alim.
Well done. Yuridu.
Yuridu.
An yukhrijakum.
An yukhrijatum.
This is a kaf. Yeah? An yukhrijakum.
An yukhrijakum.
Well done. Okay, so because we're going to join this meme onto that one, we're going to read it together. An yukhrijakum min.
An yukhrijakum min.
Well done. Ardikum.
Ardikum.
Ardikum. This is a tricky letter, this dod here. It's a full mouth letter, what we call, but it's pronounced dod, di in this case. Can you try that?
The.
So you've got to roll your tongue at the back and see if you can make it and send the sound into your mouth. Di.
The.
Okay, it's a bit tricky. I think you'll learn as you go. So, أرضكم بسحره.
أرضكم بسحره.
Okay, when you see this, you have to hold on to this meme. So when you see a ba, straight after the meme. أرضكم بسحره.
أرضكم بسحره.
Well done. فما.
فما.
أتى.
زتا.
How do we pronounce this letter here?
Zata.
Well done. You see this alif afterwards? What does that mean? Do you know?
You just skip it and just go to the next.
In this case, this elongates with this. It's a couple here, and you elongate for 2 seconds, okay? So you say the.
The.
Yeah. Ta'murun.
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 Well done. You corrected the slight mistake. You made a slight jerk sound here. You said that, and I corrected it. You correctly recited it the second time around. Ta'murun.
Ta'murun.
Well done. That was really good reading. Well done, G2694. Jazakallah. Can I have another student, please?
Can G2646 come to the mic?
Assalamu alaikum, G2646. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's read on. Qalu
Qalu
arjih
arjih
wa akhahu
wa akhahu
wab'ath
wab'ath
fil madaini
fil madaini
hashirin.
hashirin
Again, this hashirin.
hashirin
Okay. Ya'tuka
ya'tuka
bikulli sahha
bikulli sahha
rin alim.
rin alim
Rin alim.
rin alim.
Okay, well done. That was really good reading, and I can see you reciting really well. Do you know how to pronounce this letter quickly? How do you pronounce this one here?
Sa
Well done. I can see you're doing really good learning. Over here, this letter, how do you pronounce that one?
ha
Well done. So this letter is a bit tricky because this one is a ha. It's not a soft ha. It's more of a, like, when you say it, air escapes from your throat. Really, so you have to constrict your throat and not try to not let this air escape. Then you recite it correctly. Do you want to try that one time? Ha.
ha
Well done. That's much better. Okay. Well done. And this ayn here, how do you pronounce this? Ayn.
ah
Yeah, correct. So how are you doing that? The middle of your throat gets constricted a bit and you say ah. Do you want to say that
Ah.
again? Well done. Rin alim.
rin alim.
Well done. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so just going back to the lesson that we learned previously, I just want to know. So we were looking at combining letters. And how do we combine this lam sakin onto the letter before it? Do you know what the rule is? When you see a letter of combining letter, which is this one here, it's a lam or sakin because it carries a sukoon, which is also known as a jazm, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
And what do you have to do? Which letter do you have to join it onto?
Fa
Well done. How do you know it's the fa that we have to join it onto? How do you know that?
because it's the most recent mutaharrik letter.
Well done. That was really, really good learning. Well done. Excellent. So yes, so you can see there's a letter in between this alif here. Yeah. And this ya, which is also, it's there, but it's got no vowel on it. So you can see that those two letters, you don't join the lam sakin onto that. You join it onto the mutaharrik letter, which in this case is the fa, which is a fa. Do you know what a letter that carries a kasra is called? Do you know what this letter is called? Anything with a kasra on it, this one here, this B, this C, this ri, fi. What are they called? Do you remember?
Maksur
Well done. Excellent learning. Okay, so then you can tell me what a letter carrying a dhamma is called.
madmum
And a fatha.
maftu.
Excellent learning, G2646. Well done. Excellent. That was really good. Well done. I can see you're learning well. Jazakallah, G2646.
Jazakallah Hafiz.
Jazakallah. Can I have one more student, please?
And G2630 come to the mic.
Assalamu alaikum, G2 630. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Just one moment, let me get myself together. So we read up to, I think we've read it, yeah, we just read it all. Let's go back to the top of what we're learning today. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, let's start again from the beginning. Okay, let's recite and then you can follow after me. Qala
Qala
fa'ti
fa'ti
bihi
bihi
in kunta
in kunta
minas sadiqin.
minas sadiqin.
Well done, good reading. فألقى
Fa'alqa
عصاه
asa
فإذا
fa'iza
ذا
za
هي
hiya
ثعبان.
tu'ba.
This is a ta, this one up here. Why is it ta? It carries two letters. This 2 dots, sorry. This one carries 3 dots. So this is a thu. Yes, well done. How do you pronounce that?
Su
Okay, so this scene is a really pronounced S. So we say sa. This one here is a th sound. Your tongue, the tip of your tongue touches the top of your top teeth, but only the tip of them at the top, right? Thu, and slight air escapes while you recite it. Thu.
tu
Well done. That's really good. So can you see the difference? Sa and thu.
yeah.
That's how we recite that. So let's try it again. Hiya thu'ba.
Yeah.
This one here. I can read it again and you can read it after me.
Yeah.
Hiya thu'ba.
Iya suba
Numbi.
numbi.
Well done. Jazakallah G2 630. Very good reading. Excellent.
Jazakallah, Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so that brings us on to the next part of our lesson. So today we are looking from amongst the 10 most mispronounced letters. We're looking at dhal today. Again, I corrected a few students as we were reciting. I hope you were paying attention. Let's just run through this first, and then we'll have one student to come and recite with me. So, one moment. The area that this letter is formed in is it's with your tongue. It's a letter of the tongue, and in Arabic, the letter of the tongue is called al-lisan. So it's often replaced or mistaken with za, which is a clear Z sound. In this case, this isn't a Z sound, it's a dhal. So how is it pronounced? The tip of the tongue slightly comes out of the mouth like tha, but there is more vibration. The tongue is pressed against the edge of the upper teeth, and slight air should escape. So notice it sounds very similar to the tha, but it's a Z sound rather than a S sound. So this is how we pronounce it. Tha or dhal. This letter is called a dhal. And if it was a mutaharik letter, if it was a maftu, it would be a dha. If it's a maksur letter, it would be a dhi. And if it was a madmum letter, it would be a dhu. Okay, so let's practice that with one student. One moment, let me just get my. Okay, can I have one student to practice this with me quickly, please?
And G2 670, come to the mic.
G2 670. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, alhamdulillah. I'm going to go through this with you, and I'd like you to read the bottom words. I'll read the top two, but I would like you to read the bottom one, okay? Because I want you to hear the difference between how this is pronounced. But let's just quickly go through this. So the tip of the letter dhal, the tip of the tongue slightly comes out of the mouth like tha, but there is more vibration. The tongue is pressed against the edge of the upper front teeth, so the slight air should escape. Let me read this for you. Azzi and azzi. If you could read this one using the correct recitation, which is this one. If you want to hear it again, it's azzi. Go ahead. Let me read.
Azzi.
Oh, well done. Okay, go ahead and read. Tu'azziba.
Azziba.
Well done. Okay, let me show you the difference in recitation. Kadha and kazza. Go ahead and read this word here.
Kadhabu.
Well done. Okay, next one. Ladha and lazza.
Lazzatin.
Okay, you're going slightly onto this side where you can hear the Z sound. If you try and keep it to a the sound, that would be better. So ladha.
Lazzatin.
Well done. Again. Adhi and azzi. Read this one for me.
Nu'adhibuhu.
Well done. Okay, and kadha and kazza. Go ahead and read.
Kazzaba.
And sometimes what happens, while we hear the sound in front of us, we do get confused. So if you take the Z sound out of it totally and say, read it as kadha, kadhaba.
Kazzaba.
That's much better. Okay, excellent. That was really, really good reading. 1 second. Can I have another student to read that as well, please?
Can I request G2700 to unmute their mic?
G2700, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, how are you?
Well, thank you, Jazakallah. Okay, so again, just a quick reminder, if you could fill the form for attendance as well today, it's in the chat box. So let's go over this lesson again. Sorry, let me read the top ones, and you can read the bottom one again. Azzi and azzi.
Tu'azibu.
Again, so you notice the difference in sound. Can you see the top two? The dal that we're concentrating on is this one here. It sounds like adzi, adzi. Yeah?
Okay.
Try that. Yeah, it's more of a the sound rather than a z sound. Try that. Adzi.
Azzi.
The ayn is quite tricky as well. If you want to try that again as well. Adzi.
Azzi.
Okay, but sorry, if you go ahead and try that one more time. Azzi.
Azzi.
And again, azzi.
Azzi.
This here is tu'adhiba.
Tu'aziba.
Adhiba, the dhal sound. Rather than a z, which is this sound here, we're looking for the. Tu'adhiba.
Tu'aziba.
Okay, let's just practice it. Hopefully you can pick it up phonetically. Kadha and kazza. Let's read this one. Kadhabu.
Kazabu.
Well done. Ladha and lazza. Notice the difference because this is a dhal and this is a za. Ladha and lazza. Ladhatin.
Lazatin.
Ayadha and azzi. Sorry, azzi and azzi. Nu'adhibuhu.
Nu'azibuhu.
Much better. You've picked it up phonetically. Keep going. Kadha, kazza, kadhaba.
Kazaba.
Much better. So just vibrate it a little more, okay? You read that really, really well. So just remember to pronounce the dhal differently to the za, okay? Jazakallah G2700. That was really good reading. Okay, wonderful. Let me just skip on to the last part of our class now. Okay, so today's rule that we learned today was combining. So if you see a sakin letter, you join it onto the most recent mutaharik letter. So you have to ignore the letters in between, only those that don't have a vowel on them. So you only look for the mutaharik letter. Let me quickly read that for you again, just as a reminder. Yablughul, sorry, sorry. Yablughul huluma. Yablughul huluma. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, and for practice, today it's verses 32 to 38, bearing in mind all the corrections I made and everything that we learned today, especially noting the combining letters as well. Today's letter, or sorry, one moment, was letter Dal. It's a letter of the tongue, which is the lisan, which means the tongue. And the references are in Talimul-Quran, pages 94 to 98. So if you want to practice it online, you can go ahead and do that. And you can click here, and it should take you to the Talimul-Quran, the Talimul-Quran app from here. This is available to you on the drive. So you have access to the drive, and you can go and check online there when you sign in. And for today's practice verses, apply the rules we have, sorry, this is homework, sorry. Practice today's verses, apply the rules we have revised so far in your daily tilawat, paying attention to all the rules revised so far. Okay, Jazakumullah. So let's go on to the last part. Can we have a student for the end dua for today?
Can G2 713 come to the mic?
G2 713, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Sorry, you're G2 713.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, let's recite this dua. Allahumma arhamni.
Allahumma
Hamni Bil-Qur'anil azim.
Bil-Qur'an Azim.
Okay, 1 second. Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahmah. Wonderful. Okay, do you want to read the translation?
O Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran, the Great, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Excellent. Jazakallah G2 713. That was really good reading. Jazakumullah. Okay, so that concludes our class for today. Jazakumullah for joining today's class. Remember to do your homework, as on Friday you'll be reciting in your breakout rooms, and it's useful to go over the rules that we've learned in today's and the previous classes, so that when you recite on Friday, it's easier for you. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.